Late Night is the wokest movie ever made, and so it shouldn't surprise you it's a steaming pile of shit.
Vaughan Jog Vlog.
So this actually hit Amazon Prime Video earlier in the summer, and I'm reviewing it now because, well, it really didn't gain too much traction now, did it? This is written by Mindy Kaling, you know, the terrible Kelly from The Office, the one who brought nothing to the show, and it was actually better in her absence. Well, she plays Molly, this aspiring comedian, and she gets an interview to join the writing staff of a sort of Tonight Show type clone hosted by Catherine Newberry, an older British lass, the lone woman in Late Night. And her fading career, the ratings are down, people say the show's terrible, the writers are just not motivated, so what do? They bring in an affirmative action hire. Just hire the next woman that shows up. Catherine calls on the phone during the interview, and so Molly is hired on the spot. No references of shit, no experience, just she's a woman. Yes, Mindy Kaling, the great auteur of our time. Of course, we feel good about this because the alternative was nepotism. Oh, we're just gonna hire more white guys who are brothers of the guys on the staff already. Now look, the movie's not funny, and I do appreciate how they make this idea of the writer's room exist in the minds of the people who don't necessarily know how this sort of thing works. I don't think it's a big exaggeration. And for much of the movie, you're focused on how are they going to turn around the show. Catherine's getting yanked, she's losing the show, but she won't give it up just yet. So she's a little bit like Jay Leno. Molly brings a few new approaches to finding jokes and gets them in the monologue, and there's some resurgence for the show, inspires Catherine to be sassier, but you come to realize that Catherine is a terrible person. Molly falls for the hot guy in the office, and you learn he's a douchebag. He'd also been hooking up with Catherine, even though she's married to one of the most English-American actors going. Cheats on him, and by the way, he has MS. And nothing comes bad of Catherine. She gets to keep her job, she gets everything, she can do whatever she wants because she's a woman and she needs to be able to do as a man would. You know, because men been getting away with it for long enough. The movie ends with Molly wanting to leave the show, and then they hijack the ending to Pretty Woman, having Catherine come up the steps to appease Molly, you know, get down on her knees, all this sort of stuff, beg her to come back, and she does, on one condition: no more hiring white guys. They flash forward a year later, we see that the guy that was helping with the monologue, he was the office douchebag. He's now in a relationship with Molly, though I wish he could have done better, because this gal has now affirmative actioned up the entire office. Now keep in mind here, you had an almost predominantly white male writing staff that turned things around when they got motivated, and they are gone. Are they fired? I don't know. Did they move on, get their own shows? Are they doing stand-up? Are they working a circuit somewhere? I have no idea. We just know that all of a sudden everybody got Indian or gay. And what lesson did we learn from this? It's great to not be a white guy. Oh, and it shouldn't surprise you, in carrying on the tradition of dramas about comedy, it's not funny. Yeah, Late Night, 1.5 out of 4 stars. So we're at the part of the video where I have to beg you to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, because subscribe doesn't really account to anything other than YouTube might someday send me a plaque.